What's up everyone? It's back with another video, and if you're here, you're probably as hyped as I am about launching that app you've been working on. But hold on, this isn't some random launch party. This is about launching right, launching strong, and setting yourself up for app success. Now if you're just jumping in here, pause it right now, head back to App Development Part 1 and Part 2 on the channel, get caught up, and then come back here. Trust me, it'll make a world of difference. We've covered a ton of ground from ideation to actually building the thing, but this stage right here, this is where things get really real. This is about taking all that hard work, all that coding, all that designing, and finally sharing it with the world. But more than that, it's about doing it strategically, thoughtfully, so your app doesn't just get lost in the noise. Stick around till the end of this video and I promise, you'll have a launch checklist that'll make all the difference. Let's get started. Alright, so you've poured your heart and soul into building this amazing app. You've got the design down, the code's looking clean, and you're probably itching to get this thing out there. But hold your horses for a second, because this is where one of the most crucial stages comes in: testing. Think of testing like that final quality check before a product leaves the factory. You don't want your users to be the ones discovering bugs and glitches, right? That's why we test rigorously. And listen, there are different levels to this. You've got your functional testing, making sure all the buttons do what they're supposed to, the forms submit correctly, that kind of stuff. It's all about making sure the app works on a basic level. Then you've got usability testing. This is where you get real users, or at least people who haven't seen your app before, to try it out. Are they able to navigate intuitively? Do they understand the flow? This stage can be eye-opening because sometimes what seems obvious to you as the creator might be confusing for a first-time user. Performance testing is another big one. Is your app running smoothly on different devices? How about different operating systems? You don't want your app crashing on someone just because they're using an older phone or have a slower internet connection. And here's the thing, testing isn't a one-time thing. You're going to be testing throughout the entire development process. Every time you add a new feature, every time you make a significant change, you test again. It might seem tedious, but trust me, it's way better to catch and fix issues early on than to deal with negative reviews and frustrated users later. And don't forget about security testing, especially if your app handles sensitive user data. You need to make sure that information is encrypted and protected from potential vulnerabilities. Now you might be thinking, this testing thing sounds complicated, I'm not even sure where to start. And you know what? That's okay. There are tons of resources available online, from detailed guides to automated testing tools that can help you streamline the process. The key takeaway here is that thorough testing is non-negotiable. It's an investment in the quality of your app and, ultimately, in its success. Remember, a polished, bug-free app is much more likely to impress users and keep them coming back for more. Okay, so your app is tested, polished, and practically begging to be released into the wild. But before you hit that publish button, there's some essential prep work we need to cover. Think of this as getting all your ducks in a row so that when you do launch, you're doing it right. First up, App Store guidelines. Both Apple's App Store and the Google Play Store have specific rules and guidelines that your app needs to meet in order to be listed. These guidelines cover things like content, design, functionality, and even legal requirements. Now I know, reading through pages of guidelines might not sound like the most thrilling task, but trust me, it's crucial. Getting rejected from an app store because you missed a critical guideline can set you back significantly in terms of time and effort. Next, let's talk about ASO, which stands for App Store Optimization. This is essentially SEO for your app, and it's all about making sure your app shows up in relevant searches. Think about it. When someone's browsing the App Store, what are they typing into the search bar? Your app title, description, keywords, even the screenshots you use all play a role in ASO. It's about understanding what your target audience is looking for and optimizing your app's listing to match those searches. Now, before you launch to the public, consider doing a beta test. This is where you release your app to a smaller group of users for feedback. Beta testing is invaluable because it gives you real-world insights into how people are actually using your app. You might find that users are getting stuck in certain areas, or maybe there's a feature they're absolutely loving that you didn't even think would be a big deal. This feedback is pure gold, allowing you to make final tweaks and improvements based on real user experience. During the beta testing phase, pay close attention to the feedback you receive. Are there any recurring bugs being reported? Are users confused about certain features? The more feedback you gather and incorporate, the better your app will be at launch. Remember, launching an app isn't just about getting it out there. It's about getting it out there in the best possible state. Taking the time to understand App Store guidelines, optimize your listing for visibility, and gather feedback through beta testing will significantly increase your chances of a successful launch. This is it, the moment you've been waiting for, launch day. You've tested, you've optimized, you've incorporated feedback, and now it's time to share your app with the world. But launching is just the beginning. It's about building momentum, engaging with your users, and continuously improving your app based on real-world usage. First things first, submitting to the app stores. This process involves creating developer accounts, filling out detailed app information, setting up pricing if applicable, and uploading your app's build. Both Apple and Google have specific guidelines and requirements for this process, so make sure you're familiar with them and double-check everything before you hit submit. Now, while you're waiting for your app to be reviewed and approved, let's talk about marketing. You've got to get the word out there, and there are tons of ways to do this. Social media is your best friend here. Create engaging content, run ads targeted at your ideal users, and build a community around your app. Consider reaching out to app reviewers and tech bloggers in your niche. A positive review from a respected source can do wonders for your app's visibility. And don't underestimate the power of word-of-mouth marketing. Encourage your friends, family, and early users to spread the word and share their experiences with your app. Once your app is live, pay close attention to user feedback. Respond to reviews, both positive and negative, and show your users that you're listening and that you care about their experience. This is crucial for building trust and loyalty. And remember, launching is not the finish line, it's just the beginning. Continuously update your app with new features, bug fixes, and performance improvements. Stay engaged with your users, listen to their feedback, and keep iterating to make your app the best it can be. Launching an app is a journey, not a destination. It takes time, effort, and a willingness to adapt and learn along the way. But with the right approach, the right mindset, and a whole lot of passion, you can set your app up for success in the ever-evolving world of mobile applications. So there you have it, a comprehensive look at launching your app like a pro. We've covered a ton of ground in this three-part series, from the initial spark of an idea to navigating the exciting and sometimes challenging world of app development. Remember, thorough testing is key. ASO can make or break your app's discoverability, and beta testing is like having a sneak peek into your users' minds. Take these steps to heart, apply them to your own app development journey, and I'm confident you'll be well on your way to launching a successful app. Now I want to hear from you. What are some of the biggest challenges you're facing in your app development process? Drop your thoughts, questions, and experiences in the comments below. And who knows, maybe your question will inspire a future video. Until then, keep creating, keep innovating, and I'll see you in the next one.